Welcome to the Metal Mixtape here on KSQ 89.5 FM Ashland, Oregon, at 4.1 FM Medford, Oregon. Stream online on kskq.org. It's the boy, it's the Don, TJ Ramo, is sitting here with me.
It's Captain Manhattan. What is going on?
Dude, we are honored and fucking privileged to have the one and only powerhouse vocalist of the fucking West, Norman Skinner, the third. What is up, Norman?
What's up, brother? The intro makes me feel like a wrestler or something. It's coming out. Yeah.
Oh, bro, I can go so much harder, man, dude. You know how it is, that parent life, dude. My kids been kicking my ass for 6 hours, so I'm all wind down right now. Ever since I got into your music and just found you on Facebook and we became friends, dude. You were already just such a powerhouse of a vocalist, and not only that, but just like a solo artist and so many amazing projects. I mean, what is it? 17 solo albums right now?
Well, not solo albums, but yeah, like I think it's like 17 albums total that I've released.
All right.
To date.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Different bands.
I totally remember that, dude. And it's insane, man. Like I said, I just thought you were like one of the best vocalists in all the West Coast, and just always impressed me. And then all of a sudden, dude, you joined a band called Forbidden that is like a really amazing, like epic band from the early 90s and 80s, dude. And what I want to know, man, is that, like, you know, everybody knows Norman in Sacramento and the Bay Area and the West Coast for always having like some of the best work ethic and just some of the best pipes on the West, dude. How did this whole opportunity come to be where a band is like resurrecting and they hit a home run with you, dude? How was the whole process of you joining the band, and how did they come to approach you?
So I think it started off with just a couple things. One, I happened to be at a local show. So let that not be lost on people. Local shows are great for networking, right? So I was at a local show, and Chris Contos happened to be there. Craig Licicero was there. Matt Camacho was there. So, Chris wasn't in Forbidden, but two members of Original Forbidden were there. I was just hanging out with the guys. I didn't know them that well, really at all. More of acquaintance here to show, hey, how's it going? Fast forward just a little bit after that, there's a thing called Bay Area Interthrational. So Bay Area Interthrational is a group of people that celebrate early thrash songs, but the caveat is you cannot play your own song. So, for instance, if you're in Death Angel, you can't play a Death Angel song. You have to play like Overkill. If you're an Overkill, you have to play Testament, etc. So they were going to be doing Dynamo Metal Fest in the Netherlands. And the issue was they were trying to get all the music down for all these cover songs. There's about 12 of them. But all their singers were either out of state or on tour. So they had no one to sing these songs to get the core band, up to speed. Well, I guess I think I was fresh in their mind from being at that show. And Chris Contos was like, oh, why don't we call that dude Norm? He's a good singer. So they contacted me. Craig's like, hey, we're in a bit of a bind. Would you be cool learning 12 songs, coming down here, and, just helping us get ready for this festival? Now, mind you, I would learn songs and go in and just help them rehearse, nothing for me. But, these are some heavy hitters. So I'm like, yeah, that'd be awesome, So I learned some songs. I went down there for a few weekends and just, hitting all these songs. We were doing everything, we're doing Exodus and early Megadeth and, all sorts of things, Violence. Well, and I'm having to, sing all of it. It doesn't matter what the voice was. Well, the last weekend rehearsal, there was one song on the list. It was Forbidden, Off the Edge. And we just were not playing it. So, and I learned the song. So I'm like, hey guys, are we going to do this song? And then they're like, well, none of us are going to be playing that because, we were in Forbidden, so we won't be playing that song. The other guys will. And then they're like, well, we should probably brush up on it in case something goes wrong and we have to jump in or someone cancels or whatnot. So, so they went ahead and went into the song. And I guess this is what I hear. This is what they say. I guess, they started looking at each other while I'm singing like, dude, what the hell, right? And mind you, they had been, defunct as a band since 2012 at this point. Like, it was dead in the water. And I guess Chris Contos was like opening the door and like looking in, like, you know, and stuff. Now, I didn't see any of this. I wouldn't pick up on any of that. I was in my zone just delivering the song. Fast forward past that, the guys are like, hey, you know, you did a really good job. Craig's like, hey, it's not lost on me that this guy just killed that song, you know, but just so everyone knows I'm aware. I didn't think anything of it. They invited me because I helped them out to do a song at the San Francisco version of the show. Sorry, it's a long story, but you asked.
No, I love it. I love it, bro. Keep going, dude.
Yeah.
This is
legendary
shit. Keep going.
So I'm like, yeah, man, I'll do this San Francisco show. They're like, yeah, I think I'll have you do another Forbidden song. We'll do Chalice of Blood, and you'll sing it with Oliver of Warbringer. And I'm like, okay. So by the time the show rolls around, I end up with like 8-9 songs to do, more than any other singer. They just kept giving me songs, you know, and a lot of them went over really huge. But that particular song just like went insane that night. Everyone was like, and people were, you know, Chris is backstage, and I'm just sitting in the dressing room hanging out, and Chris is like, you guys are fucking stupid if you don't get Forbidden back together. And I'm just like, I'm saying nothing, right? I'm just like, okay, whatever. All right. So I think all the seeds were planted. I mean, there was another big rehearsal with a lot of big names that came in where I rehearsed it with Warbringer, and same thing. I guess people were looking at Craig like, dude, it's always been said, no Russ, no Forbidden. You know, Russ Anderson's the original vocalist, just a beast of a thrash singer. I mean, he's super hard to fill those shoes, right? Well, I guess what happened is Alcatraz Festival in Belgium called Craig, said, hey, it's the 35th anniversary of, so 30th or 35th, I can't remember, of Forbidden Evil. What would it take for you to come and play that? I know Russ is retired. Maybe you could get a different guy to do vocals. And maybe you should get Chris, because they didn't have a drummer when they disbanded. Maybe you should get Chris Contos on drums, because, you know, everyone loves him for Machine Head. So I guess that planted the final seed in Craig's mind, and he was like, I know what I'm going to do. And he called me, and he's like, hey, bro. So I get the call. I'm thinking he's going to call me for more Bay Area and Thrashtional stuff. And, you know, he offered me to resurrect the band Forbidden and be the new singer. And I was like, okay. And that was it. I said, okay. I didn't even talk to anyone about it. And I left to pick my kids up from school. Just was like,
man. Dad,
you know, and that's how it happened.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I picked them up and I told them about it, and they were like, oh, it's awesome. But yeah, man, that was, I mean, I was in the right place. Then I put the work in, and I did what I needed to do. And then other factors from Alcatraz wanting them to do a show, and it just all kind of everything just sort of fell into place. And here I am.
Dude, that is absolutely incredible, dude. And what a dream come true, dude. And you know what blew me away too is that like immediately after like you joined Forbidden and they got resurrected, like you guys just started getting shows left and right, getting offered to play here, getting offered to play there, because you know your live videos started popping up, and everybody's like, holy hell, dude, like Norman's destroying these parts. Did you feel any pressure from joining a band that was already so hot, and you just like reignited that flame, and then all these shows are coming in, all these offers, not only that, and all the attention, because you know you have Nevayan, you have your solo projects, and then all of a sudden it's just your dream is just punching you right in the face. Like how'd you deal with this everything happening all at once?
I mean, it's all about balance, right? Time management and prioritizing, you know, what's important. Obviously, when Forbidden came into the picture, that became number one priority. You know, Nevayan had to, you know, they understandably knew, okay, we're second tier, you know, if anything scheduling comes up, Forbidden takes precedence. And you know what? That's the only way to have multiple projects. Everyone needs to know where they're at in that food chain, so no one gets butthurt and upset about stuff, right? But as far as pressure goes, I mean, I grew up, you know, watching Forbidden and having their albums and stuff. And Russ Anderson's noted as, you know, the best, if not one of the best thrash singers ever. So there's a lot of fans out there that were, you know, I met them, and they're like, they were extremely skeptical that I was going to be able to come in, this guy that no one's ever heard of, right? Who's Norman Skinner, right? And then just really be able to belt these things out. Now, mind you, a lot of these early albums were recorded when, you know, their singer was in his early 20s. You know, I'm nearing 50, so, you know, I don't have that young whatever. But in the later years of Forbidden, especially on their last few tours worldwide, the vocals suffered a lot. So if I'm listening to those videos, I don't really feel a lot of pressure because I'm like, ooh, I can definitely do these songs justice. If I listen to like the heyday back in 89, 88, this guy is just wailing, 22-year-old, 21-year-old dude just with the voice. I'm just like, ooh, all right, I'm going to give it my go. You know, I'm not a young buck, but I'm able to deliver, luckily. I haven't had any issues with these songs. They're all right in my wheelhouse. They're all right in my range. We have the same sort of timbre vocally, so it kind of fits really nicely. We are beginning to write a new album, and there's a little stress and pressure for that because that's where fans get to sit down and go, all right, sure, this guy can belt out these old songs. Let's hear what the new Reborn Forbidden sounds like with him singing new songs. So we'll see how it works. But hopefully I answered the question.
No, dude, no, that's totally fucking rad. And I could totally see you feeling the pressure off just like the new album and to be honest, it's like ever since I've seen you getting put in this position, there has been like a lot of opinions and people commenting and everything. But the thing is, it's like, dude, you're a well refined machine, dude. And like you like you're saying, like, yeah, you're having to compete with what they heard some kid in his 20s recording this album, dude. But you know, I think they picked the right guy because you constantly stay busy. Your voice is always healthy. But so like, dude, I feel like ever since I've seen you get in this position that like I said, you've been just contacted left and right, constantly just having to interact with people, and I know by experience how that can get overwhelming. Do you ever bury yourself in comments about what people say, or does it become comical to you because it's like there are people out there that are just so diehards and they don't want anything to change, or they just don't want. I mean, people are still talking about how Metallica hasn't released a good album in 30 years when, you know what I mean? I still think they put out good music, you know what I mean? Like, do you ever get stuck in that wheelhouse of just comments and people's opinions?
Regarding online feedback and stuff, right? The two things I have going for me is one, that the singer retired. He doesn't want anything to do with music, so that now the fans are like, hey, either get my band or with the new guy or don't get it all. So they've been super accepting. They're like, okay, this, and we're not calling this, we branded it as a rebirth. It's Forbidden Reborn. I mean, it's forbidden, but it's a new version. So that also helps people go, okay, this is a new version of the band I like. You know, there were a lot of skeptics at first, nothing mean. And then ever since then, since all the live videos have come out and people have been seeing stuff, it's been 99.9% just completely overwhelming positivity. I have not read a bad comment. I've only read like 1 to 3 comments of no Russ, no Forbidden, or if he's not in it, I don't even want to hear it. But nothing bad about my vocals. I've heard one other person post, they're like, he's okay, but he's not Russ. So nothing derogatory. No one's saying I'm or, you know, butchering this, nothing bad. So luckily it's pretty much been open arms and very welcoming by the Forbidden fan base.
Dude, that's absolutely beautiful and awesome to hear, dude. Yeah. So, dude, talking about the Alcatraz show, dude, like I'm watching videos and the crowd was so massive and everything, and this was like the very first like big massive show and exposure, man. Tell me a little bit about how that rock star life is backstage and how a big festival is ran. And what did you feel right before you got on stage? Because I saw how packed it was. Everybody was hyped for Forbidden. This was like such a huge. I don't know if this is the biggest crowd you ever played to. Yeah. But it just looked like a huge shining moment. Tell me a little bit about how it felt to be a rock star backstage and how it felt getting ready to get on that stage for the first time and unleash your vocals.
So here's a little fun fact about me that a lot of people don't know that I'll tell you. I don't know if it's my body preparing energy or what, but before I go on stage or before I even go out for the night to a show or anything, I am passing out. I am yawning. Like, I am just super tired. So I remember sitting backstage just in the chair, just like, got my stage clothes on, and I'm just super tired, man. I was like, can we do this already? And I don't know. I've always been that way. If you're ever hanging out with me at a show, and you're gonna look over, you're gonna see me looking like I didn't get any sleep, even though I did. And then all of a sudden, like, it's like I'm awake. So that's weird. It was no different there. But backstage was cool. There were also moments, I'm walking around and I'm like, oh shit, and seeing names on dressing rooms. I'm like fanboying a little bit, like, ooh, I wonder if I can meet them, and stuff like that. And then, there were some people that wanted to meet me that knew who I was, but it's still early, right? A lot of people haven't seen me. They don't know who I am yet. So I'm still, they don't know that, oh, that dude there's the singer for Forbidden, But it was really cool. It was a whole different dynamic. There's the backstage is actually a building that's down the path from where all of the fairgrounds are. So you either walk up or back or get shuttled. But in that building, there's just offices for the administration, and then these big cubicle rooms set up that are, makeshift with names on the door. And you go in and, get drinks and a table and a little bit of catering and stuff. And just a place to hang out, warm up, and change, really, if you're not walking around, meeting people, checking out the other bands, etc. So fast forwarding to before I got on stage. So I'm on stage on the back side, and I remember I'm working with them. I got my mic, and I'm checking my in-ears and volume and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I want to kind of see what the crowd's like. So I remember kind of peeking around the side and just seeing like, thousands of people. I'm like, that's cool. I don't know. I was just like, that's cool. Right. And then, our intro goes on and stuff. It's time for me to go out there, and I go out there and I start singing. And this was my first time with pyro. So it's like, ooh, that's hot. So that was different. And I'm just remembering, all right, stay behind the tape. They said, stay behind that tape. So, and I'm just singing, but I'm not, you're a musician, so you guys don't know what I'm talking about. When you're on stage, you're going through your stuff. You're going through your counts. You're remembering what your vocals are, or your riffs and stuff, and your changes. And yeah, sure, you have time to interact and point and in the moment, but there's a whole chunk of you that's just going through it, right? So that's me, it was business as usual. It was like I was playing to 5 people, even though it was like 30,000. It's just, I'm going through everything I have to do on a professional level. But there was one moment. I'll share this. We were doing step by step, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the pit and I'm doing stuff, and I kind of turn, and there's a whole guy in a wheelchair getting passed across the crowd. And I remember thinking, holy crap, that's fucking awesome. I was like, that is killer. So, but yeah, it's definitely the way, I'm looking forward to all these big festivals and big crowds, because it's, it's just it's a whole different vibe. You know what I mean? So many people from so many different walks of life that all love metal, whatever kind of metal, and especially when they change up what metal's playing. One moment you got some like, pop metal electronic band, from like Denmark. And the next you got like some, Texas, Arizona band or something that's straight death metal. You never know what you're going to get. But everyone's there together and enjoying what's happening. I love the vibe.
Dude, how was it when you got off stage at Alcatraz, and like the whole band embraced each other after like this huge, this huge show? Was it like everybody was like relaxed now, and everybody can just like be like, all right, guys, like this is really for real. Like, we literally went out here and destroyed. Was it like a sign of relief? Like what was the meeting like between you and your bandmates in Forbidden after this first big unleashing and a well job done?
I don't remember having any kind of like where we were all together in this. It's like we just kind of went and did our thing, and then we'd hang out, but everyone was happy, and we were like, yeah, man, badass, But yeah, I mean, I remember getting swarmed after I got off stage of people now wanting to meet me and now shake my hand and, you were killer and stuff, Before, walking up there, they're like, I don't know who this dude is. And then they hear me and they're like, oh, that was some shit right there. So, it was cool, man. And the guys, they've told me multiple times, they're like how proud they are of me and they made the right decision. And, they can't wait to see where this goes. And, they're very, I don't know. I just try to stay really humble about the whole thing. I just want to put in the work and be pro across the board and just continue to make music until I'm unable to. So.
No, I dig it. No, I love it, dude. Talking about how like when you got off stage and you were swarmed by people, was there somebody maybe you looked up to or just were a huge fan of that gave you a compliment when you got off stage that kind of made your day?
No. So there were no. I didn't meet anybody that was directly side stage or backstage that was watching us perform. But one cool thing is I met Ripper Owens, who I'd never met before because KK's Priest was playing that night. And of course, I'm a huge Ripper Owens fan. And that dude's got a voice, And so I met him, and I was like, "Yeah, hey, I'm Norman, new singer for Forbidden," and he already knew the story. He already knew who I was. He's like, "Yeah, man, I've been following the story. I'm actually I liked Forbidden back in the day, blah blah blah." And I wanted to ask him so many questions, and I wanted to talk about him, but all he did was ask me questions and make the moment about me. And I was like, "Wow, how cool is this guy?" But now next time I need to make sure that I butt in and be like, "No, dude, I don't want to talk about me. I got questions for you." But really cool guy. That was a highlight for me. Meeting him at the same festival, I got to meet Jesse Leach from Killswitch Engage. I'm a huge Killswitch Engage fan. So that dude was super, super nice. Very introverted, super nice dude. Got to meet the guys from Prong and Biohazard and, got to meet some guys from Obituary, which was freaking awesome. Like my favorite death metal band. So it was just cool, man. And of course, I was trying to keep my fanboy inside. It's like, all right, just act like they're your peers. Not that you had their posters on your wall growing up, and So
That's incredible, dude. So like, dude, you guys had this massive successful show at Alcatraz, and after that happened, it just seemed like the water just flowed like fucking crazy. And now you're getting all these offers to play all around the world, all these festivals. Like did you have to explain that to your family a certain way that like, hey, like dad is about to get like on this rock star train and all these amazing shows with all these people? I know we got to be humble, but I'm saying like, you know what I mean? But it's like all of a sudden it's like you're having to talk with your family and be like, all right, like we just got offered all these shows. Like how are you readjusting to that? And now like just Forbidden being asked to play all these shows and requested.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of there were a few. As soon as it was announced that Forbidden had reformed, some shows started trickling in already. There were people that were just like, "Oh, I got to get this on," without even hearing anything. They were, But then, as soon as they saw live footage of the whole band, hitting on all the cylinders and stuff, then all of a sudden things started flowing in a whole lot quicker, which is awesome. But luckily, my wife, she's been with me for like 18 years. So she's pretty used to me doing tours and, being busy with rehearsals. I mean, at one point in time, I had 6 bands at once. So, I just like to stay busy. My kids, luckily, they're 17 and almost 15. So they're teenagers already. My daughter always makes jokes about how just where her birthday falls, I always seem to be gone. So, my wife just told them, she goes, "Hey, just know that we're going to have to share him a little more with the world." That's how she put it. So
that's awesome, dude.
Perfect way of wording it too, man. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, obviously, you guys knew that you guys are going to be making a new album with Forbidden, and obviously you got some big dates lined up for show wise. But what's on the plan for your solo stuff maybe in 2024? You got any plans this year for?
So for the other projects, I guess I'll go down real quick for you. So we'll start with Nevayan. Okay, so Nevayan, we have our 3rd album's done. It's being shopped. We already have a couple labels that are interested, and then we made the decision that we will sign in March. So in March, we're going to pick which label has the best deal for us. Of course, this is indie level. It's not Forbidden level. This is where we still are in the trenches and trying to climb that ladder, just like most bands. But yeah, so the new album should be out hopefully by the end of the year, if not the end. Let's just say hopefully by the end of the year. So that'll be our third Nevayan album. Other than that, we're actually writing right now. We're writing. We have about 4 songs written for album number 4. So this album's not even out. We're already got writing for this one, and we're hoping to get some shows. We don't play as often anymore because of Forbidden, but there is a lot of time where there's a lot of downtime where I'm not out of the country. I'm not on the road. So we're going to try to fit in as many shows as we can here and there just to, play so our fans still get to get live Nevayan. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. And of course, with the new album, we'll do some music videos and the standard, but as far as like full blown tours go and stuff, that's rough because Forbidden takes up so much of my time. For us, it's better to target maybe festival type stuff or even smaller fests and, in the US and things like that and wherever. So for Skinner, I just released my latest solo album, which just went over huge. Mind you, I self-released that. I didn't even put that on a label. I put that on my own label just because I didn't like the deals that were coming my way. I was like, I can do this myself. Super proud of that album. Started it like 8 years ago, and it was always on the back burner. And I released so many albums since then, but baby I was working on, this is mine, and I want to do it my way. And that came out literally a week, I think, before the Forbidden announcement. So it's like, here's my solo album, check it out. Here's Forbidden. So I think a lot of people don't know much about it. It's called The Dark Design. It's Skinner, The Dark Design. It's out there. You can stream it everywhere. You can buy it from my website, etc. But I'm super proud of that album. I don't have any future Skinner stuff planned right now. I'll probably just do one-off songs here and there, or maybe an EP coming up with some friends or people that I collaborate with, but nothing really planned. I do have another project, a recording project I've been working on for years as well, called Elementis. So I haven't really promoted that yet. We're finalizing. We have 4 EPs already that are 6 songs each that are about 80% written and done. So we're going to concentrate on the first 6 songs, get that one put out while we're finishing the second, and then the third, and then the fourth. So for that project, I got a lot of stuff ready to start piggybacking, and that's strictly a recording project. It's very it's all concept, very symphonic, dark, haunting symphonic stuff, but metal. So it's gonna be something a little different. A lot of guest singers and things. So that's something to look forward to.
Dude, that's so insane. I think I asked you this our last interview like 3 years ago. Was like, it blows my mind that you have like no writer's block. Like you're able to write lyrics and just think of stories and everything for all these albums and experiences. It's like, holy hell, dude! It's almost like you're Eminem of heavy metal, dude. You just write all these lyrics, dude. Like, how do you manifest all that for all these projects and like, because I mean, I'm guessing you have like a different emotion for every project that it like hits you in your heart. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, what keeps the juices flowing in Mr. Norman Skinner's head?
I don't know. I mean, like I wrote a song today. I wrote a song yesterday. Mind you, I don't write lyrics first most of the time. Maybe 0.01% of the time I'll write some lyrics and put some music together after. But most of the time I need music, and then I hear the music, and then I get ideas. But I'm a sponge, man, in life, just in general. I mean, I love history, mythology. I watch a shit ton of TV. I'm a night owl. And then I'm a people watcher. I got my own personal experiences, and I just draw on from whatever. So yeah, I mean, bands like Nevayan, 75% of that stuff is just all battle and war and, stuff, epic stuff like that. So, I always kind of lean there. Skinner stuff, I usually more emotional and stuff. Every once in a while I'll throw something a little political in, but I try to stay away from that. A movie, that'll make a good concept. So it just depends. I never know what's going to come out, but I definitely try to take a different approach, a different voice, and different feel for every project, because I don't want all my stuff to sound the same. I don't want people to be like, why is he in this other band? It sounds just like this one. Because I've bought like solo albums from bands or somebody's side project. I'm like, dude, this sounds just like your other band. So
No, I dig it, dude. I dig it. I don't want to take too much of your time, so we're gonna get down to like the final question.
I've got one last question before we hang up.
Okay.
Maybe not directly tied to the interview, but I have a question for you before we hang up.
All right, sounds good. Dude, you're everybody knows you as this metal guy, this hardworking guy, just like blue collar work ethic, dude. What is one thing Norman Skinner does to like just relax and just something completely non-music related that you just love doing that just that lets you relax and just refuel yourself when you do get back out there to music?
Oh, that's easy. So I have a server or a little I don't know, call it like I have a freaking drive. I have a drive here that has just tons of cartoons on it, man. We're talking stuff from way back, like Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, Pink Panther, and then up through like, the 90s, more like Animaniacs and stuff like that. And then newer stuff like Family Guy, Simpsons,
Wow.
Solar Opposites,
Dude,
Rick and Morty. So what I do is I just put that on shuffle, and I have my phone and I play games on my phone with cartoons on, relaxed. And that's my way of just tuning everything out and just playing games and watching cartoons and just being a kid, man. Pretty much a grown ass kid, just enjoying life. Yeah.
I love it. Did you want to ask your question?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the interview or nothing, but I just got to ask: what's on the shelf behind you?
So I'm a vintage Masters of the Universe collector. So those are all 80s He-Man figures from the 80s, early 80s, late. And I have castles over here and vehicles.
Great school down there.
There's a great school in Snake Mountain and even the Crystal Palace. So I'm a big collector. I have another thing over here, and I also collect. So I just collect the vintage line only. And then I also collect all the Funko Masters of the Universe because those things are too damn cute. So
I dig it, man. I'm a big wrestling fan. I have a big wrestling figure collection. So I saw that back. I'm like, those look like action figures.
Oh, dude, I love. I haven't watched wrestling in a while, but like I grew up. Like my favorite wrestler of all time is the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Excellence of Execution, Bret the Hitman Hart. Number one. Yeah, he's my favorite. And then later, when my kids were growing up, they were watching wrestling, so I jumped kind of back into it. I still watch the Royal Rumble every year just because I think it's the greatest.
Oh, same here.
Yeah, but even though I don't know who half the people are. But newer guys, I'd like to Finn Balor, I think was his name. And I've always been a fan of Orton because his finisher, dude, that comes out of anywhere. I'd take anybody out. It's like the best definitely. Finisher in my opinion. I forget what it's called. What's that thing called? It's like
the RKO
finisher. Yeah, RKO. Dude, like to me, one of the quickest, best finishers. But
growing up, most of everything, 80s, 90s, I grew up watching stuff. Monday Night Wars.
Oh yeah, DX, the freaking Monday Night Wars.
It's cool seeing, all moves of all the class.
Absolutely, yeah. I love that. I was watching Jersey. No, yeah. So yeah, mine are all He-Man stuff. I even have a big. Show you real quick. I have my half sleeve Skeletor Snake Mountain tattoo right here.
Oh,
you can see
that is sick.
Oh, that is so dope.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's yeah. So I'm big fan.
Right on. I can relate. I dig it.
Dude, that is so fucking dope, dude. Yeah, no, my mom had a huge crush on Bret Hart, dude. So I never heard the last of it of that guy. all right, dude. We're gonna throw out these final couple questions. What is one artist of music that you listen to that is furthest away from any sort of rock or metal?
I'd say Bob Marley.
Marley?
Anytime, everything's rock or metal, and then every once in a while a Bob Marley song pops on. Who doesn't like Bob Marley? So
you ever try to put some vocals in, like join a reggae band, Norman?
I think no. Never.
I like it. All right. if you could choose your death, but it had to be by somebody in a horror movie, who would you choose to kill you, and how would they do it?
Oh, well, it'd probably be Jason because he's my favorite, horror guy. And he always does it in just some freaking great fashion. I don't know, man. He'd like, I don't know. I definitely want like some sort of full on quick carnage. You know what I mean? Maybe I've never seen him use a sledgehammer. Maybe just like right to the head. I don't know. But it would be brutal and it would be fast by him. So
I think the nastiest death I've ever seen by him is like he put his like thumbs in people's eyes and just broke their skull.
Crushed their head, yeah.
Other than the sleeping bags against the tree. Yeah, the sleeping bags against the tree is a classic.
That's
and
my
then
favorite all time.
and then the space one where he like takes the person's head and puts it in a dry ice and then pulls it out and just smashes it. That one was good too. Yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. For the final question, I'm gonna ask you, what is one new band coming up right now that you think has a lot of promise, that you think is gonna do great here coming up in the next like 3 years or decades, or just a band that you've seen that maybe is like maybe not as local but a little bit mainstream that you saw that are like starting up? Like who do you think, like what is one of your favorite young bands right now?
Well, so I don't know if these bands are young or what, but there are bands that I've been listening to that are not super well known that I'm absolutely loving. There's a band I think they're out of Sweden called Manimal, and just great band. The singer's got pipes for days. There's a band from Australia called Damnation's Day. Super technical. The guy like shreds on guitar and sings badass at the same time. But around like our scene, there's a lot of cool up and coming bands. I mean, there's bands that have been around forever around here that I totally dig on. There's a band called Potential Threat SF. Love those guys. Always love their music. They're super good. There's some cool young up and coming thrash bands. Frolic is doing some awesome stuff. I'm out of the Bay Area right now. So it just depends on kind of what you're into and what you see and what you hear, right? Everyone's tastes a little different. So
I love it, dude. Norman, thank you so much for taking time out of the day, dude. We made it through the interview. We were all alive. The connection. I am super stoked, man. I'm so excited to see what Forbidden's doing in the future. Like you said, you have a new working on a new album for that. Releasing your third album for Nevayan, dude. And just all these projects. It's just such an honor, dude. And thank you so much for taking time out of your day. But here's the thing, last and not least, can you say this is Norman Skinner from Forbidden and you are listening to the Metal Mixtape?
Absolutely. What's up, metalheads? This is Norman Skinner from Forbidden, and you're listening to the Metal Mixtapes. Yeah.
Dude, you are the man. I love you, man. Thank you.
Metal toy collector.
And fellow wrestler guy.
Yes.
All right, brother. Thank you so much, dude. I can't wait to air this. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say one side note, just that you guys should try to find it or look it up. When we first before we played any show, our very first show, we played under the moniker Twisted Into Evil. And we did a promo. And our promos, our drum tech, who's also Chris Contos' nephew, totally dressed up like Macho Man. He looks just like him. And it starts with him popping up out of a garbage can. Yep, and he does the whole thing. He goes on a rant that makes no sense about Elizabeth and shit, and just to introduce our show that's upcoming. And it's out there. I might try to find it and kick it your way, but I think you both would definitely be able to appreciate it.
Dude, it sounds good, Norman. It sounds good. Dude, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, dude, for being on the Metal Mixtape. Can't wait to air this on the radio tomorrow and on the YouTube. Dude, have a great 2024 and just have a great time kicking ass, being an awesome dad, an awesome rock star, and just an awesome individual. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely. Congratulations on the new band.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you later, my friend.
All right. Take it easy, guys.